up, y'all? It's me, Tasha C, and welcome to another podcast, the Tasha C Show. Shout out to my YouTube and podcast fams, hugs and love and positive vibes and safety or recovery if you need it from Miss Cray Cray Rona and just positive vibes and so forth. And hugs and loves and shout out miracles and blessings, all that good stuff for people who support me in advance. Hugs and love, y'all. Sorry, I'm about to go a little rant before I go into another episode, our Kings and Queens Next Door. This should be volume 82, 83. So my body got to get adjusted, and I did finally get some sleep last night, which was weird because, it's been out of sync again for a whole entire month where I would stay up all night and go to bed next morning and wake up sometimes 1, 2, sometimes 12 or whatever. So my body is trying to get adjusted back to, I've been up ever since, and I woke up probably around 9. But like I said, that's a big step compared, before, instead of going to bed towards that. Not that, but a little earlier. So anyway, y'all, my body's getting back to being where I at least can go to bed at night. I'm trying to get that back on that schedule. So, I didn't do a pre-recorded because it's 7:40 p.m. right now, y'all. It's terrific Thursday, I guess you want to say it. April the 23rd, 2020. And so, I would just say, well, I'll do it tomorrow when I, feel like it after watching some cool stuff. Then I'll go ahead and do my podcast. So today is going to be one of these times, y'all, that it's going to be just one article today. It's not going to be that long, probably. And it's going to be over the legend, which I feel like kind of got pushed to the side. There was a movie made about her, which Halle Berry starred in, which I think was on HBO, which was The Life of Dorothy Dandridge. I know it was a special. I forgot. It came on several years ago. I seen part of it, and it went into more details about, unfortunately, some of the stuff she went through her life, because she had it was a sad how much of a star she was, but yet how she was actually cool in Marilyn Monroe. I'm talking about Dorothy Dandridge. And I think there was a movie based on her life. Not a book based on her life as well. Go into some more details. And it was already kind of sad even watching, even though it's a semi-good film. But she, like I said, she came around the same time as Marilyn Monroe. But if y'all noticed, when y'all see stuff, I used to have a shirt with Marilyn Monroe as well. You'll see shirts and you'll see other pictures and art pieces or so forth, or clothing that might have Marilyn Monroe. But why was Danny Dorridge put to the side and not given the same treatment as far as okay, she was a singer, she was talented, she was beautiful and so forth. Okay, that's another story. I know I'm supposed to talk about the podcast, but just like people wondered who the heck is Danny Dorridge was. Danny Dorridge should have been, as far as famous and legacy wise, should have been on the same level at least as Marilyn Monroe. Okay, like I said, I heard they were cool, and in real life they knew each other, seen each other. I don't know how much they talk past parties, stuff like that, but it was a sage because she died very young, just like unfortunately Marilyn Monroe did. So anyway, I'm just going to talk real quick about what they said on biography.com about her life. If I can't find it, but maybe I need to Google and see if there's a documentary that talks about it, because I know she went through all this stuff. If possibly I could find maybe that same documentary, I seen part of it several years ago, or something similar to it, because like I said, she was going to, excuse me y'all, I don't know why I'm counting, but like I said, I'm trying to get back in sync with my sleeping pattern. So today, let's go ahead. Dorothy Dandridge, who was born 1922 and passed away in 1965. Now, the original upload of this particular article was January 19, 2018, but it was updated November the 4th, 2019. Oh, my parents' that's my Mr. Mistress' birthday. Okay. Actress and singer Dorothy Dandridge was the first African American to be nominated for Academy Award for Best Actress. One of the things, and the only movie honestly I've seen about her was when I was in fine arts class, and it was Carmen Jones. Okay, that's how I was introduced and knew about Dorothy Dandridge. Who was Dorothy Dandridge? Actress and singer Dorothy Dandridge found early success in show business by performing with her sister, leading to her first appearance in film. Following her star in the 1954 musical Carmen Jones, she became the first African American to be nominated for Best Actress Academy Award. Dandridge found it difficult to replicate that success, and her final years was marred by personal and professional problems until her death at age 42, 1965, which was very young. Also, with a point out too, there also was a hip hop rape novel. I think Robert Tarlson directed with the star Beyonce and Joy. I always get her name messed up. I know her first name is Joy, and Rod Digger, and I think Mos Def was in. It was a hip hop remake version of Carmen called Carmen Jones. Carmen Jones called Carmen. Just to let y'all know. Early life in show business. Dorothy Jean Dandridge was born on November the 9th. Oh, that's my brother's birthday. Excuse me. 1922 in Cleveland, Ohio. Her mother, actress Ruby Dandridge, left her husband while she was pregnant, and as such, as Dorothy never knew her father. She later suffered at the hands of her mother's girlfriend, Jean Van Williams, a disciplinarian with a cruel side. Pushed into show business at a young age by her mother, Dandridge performed with her sister Vivian as a song and dance team called the Wonder Children. The girls performed throughout the South, playing black churches and other places. Sister Act and intro to Hollywood. Around 1930, Dandridge moved into Los Angeles, California, with her family. A few years later, she found success with her new musical group, the Dandridge Sisters, which included Sister Vivian and their friend Etta Jones. The group landed gigs at the famous Cotton Club in Harlem and performed with top acts such as Jimmy Luther Orchestra and Cab Calloway. As an African-American singer, Dandridge confronted early on the segregation and racism of the entertainment industry. She may have been allowed on stage, but in some venues she couldn't eat in the restaurant or use certain facilities because of the color of her skin. As a teenager, Dandridge began small earning roles in a number of films. She and her sister appeared in the Marx Brothers classic A Day in the Races, 1937, as well as Going Places, 1938, with Louis Armstrong. On her own, she danced with Harold Nicholas of the Dancing Nicholas Brothers in the 1941 song at Henry Musical's Sun Valley Serenade. The duo's tap dancing routine was cut from the version of the film shown in the South. Dandridge married Harold Nicholas in 1942, but their union proved to be anything but a happy one. Nicholas reportedly liked to chase other women, and Dandridge virtually retired from performing during this time. Adding to the strange, after Dandridge gave birth to her daughter, Helen, in 1943, they discovered that the girl had brain damage. Seeking to find a cure, Dandridge and Helen received expensive private care for many years. Carmen Jones and stardom. After her divorce in 1951, Dandridge returned to the nightclub circuit, at this time as a successful solo singer. After a stint in the Monte Carlo Club in Hollywood with Desi Arnaz's band and a sellout 14-week engagement at La Venta de Rose, she became an international star, performing at glamorous venues in London, Rio de Janeiro, San Francisco, and New York. She won her first starring role in the 1953 Sprite role, playing an earnest and dedicated young schoolteacher opposite Haley Belafonte. Her next role as an Ibnali's lead in Carmen Jones' 1954, a field adaptation of Bennett's opera Carmen, that also co-starred Belafonte, covered her to the heights of stardom. With her sultry looks and flirtatious style, Dandridge became the first African-American to earn an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. Although she lost out to Grace Kelly, from I guess one from her performance in The Country Girl, Dandridge seemed well on her way to achieving levels of fame and superstardom enjoyed by white contemporaries like Marilyn Monroe and Ava Gardner. In 1955, she was featured on the cover of Life magazine and was treated like visiting royalty at the year's Cannes Film Festival. Late roles and personal struggles. However, in the years that followed her success with Carmen Jones, Dandridge had trouble finding real film roles that suited her talents. She wanted strong leading roles but found her opportunities limited because of her race. According to the New York Times, Dandridge was said, if I were Betty Garbo, I could capture the world. But Fonte also addressed this issue, knowing that his former co-star was the right person in the right place at the wrong time. With Hollywood filmmakers unable to create a suitable role for light-skinned Dandridge, they soon reverted to socially prejudiced visions of interracial romance. She appeared in several poorly received racially and sexually charged dramas, including Island in the Sun, 1970, also starring Belafonte. Oh, she was in a lot of stuff. Fonte, okay. And Joan Fonte. And Tamango in 1958, where she plays the mistress of the captain of a slave ship. Oh, that is some BS. Among the missed opportunities from this period, Dandridge turned down the supporting role in Temptum in The King and I, 1956, because she refused to play a part of a slave. It was rumored that she would play Billie Holiday in a film version of jazz singer's autobiography, The Length Sleeping Boots, but it never panned out. Dorothy did appear in one more worthy of her talents opposite of Sidney Poitier in the Academy Award-winning Porgy and Bess, 1959. Like I said, I also in that same class, we watched a lot of film, musical stuff. I mean, not all musical stuff, but mostly was attached to it. But the interesting part, this is also the same class I seen Porgy and Bess. It didn't have the version with Dorothy Dandridge and Sidney Poitier, but it did have other, like I said, it was a filmed, play as well. While making Carmen Jones, Dandridge became involved in an affair with director Arthur Premier, who also directed Porgy and Bess. The interracial romance, as well as Dandridge's relationship with other white lovers, was frowned upon, particularly by other African-American members of the Hollywood-making community. On the rebound, Dandridge married her second husband, Jack Denson, in 1959, though it proved to be another troubled relationship. Denson was abusive and mishandled her money with Dorothy, losing much of her savings in an investment with her husband's failed restaurant. They split in 1962. As her film career and marriage floundered, Dandridge began drinking heavily and taking antidepressants. The threat of bankruptcy and nagging problems with artists forced her to resume her nightclub career, but she found only a fraction of performance success. Relegated to her second-rate lodges and stage productions, Dandridge's financial situation grew increasingly worse. By 1963, she could no longer afford to pay for her daughter's 24-hour medical care, and Helen was placed in a state institution. Dandridge soon suffers a nervous breakdown. That's one of the parts that was also discussed in the film. If you ever watched it, when Halle Berry was playing Dana Dorfich, about, unfortunately, because financially her daughter ended up being, unfortunately, the state turned, was placed in a state institution. That was sad. Death and Legacy. On September 8, 1965, Dandridge was found dead in her Hollywood home at age 42. Initially reported to be the result of embolism, additional findings prior to an overdose of an antidepressant. Dandridge had little more than $2 in her bank account at the time of her death. Dandridge's unique and tragic story became the subject of a renewed interest in the late 1990s, beginning in 1997 with the release of a biography, Dorothy Dandridge, by Donald Boog, and a 2-week retrospective at the New York City's Film Forum. In 2000, film star Halle Berry won a Golden Globe and Emmy Awards for her portrayal of the groundbreaking actress in the acclaimed TV movie introducing Dorothy Dandridge. And, I'm trying to be careful not to look. They had a couple of, YouTube links, but that is all for tonight, y'all. So, hugs and loves, God bless, stay safe. Positive vibes and so forth, and I will see you tomorrow with another episode of our Kings and Queens Next Door. Okay, take care, y'all. Hugs and loves. I'm out of here.